Hey kiddos, today we're going to make a pirate and I have a little surprise for you, so grab your colored pencils and let's go. More precisely, we're going to need one large piece of paper to protect your station, one small piece of paper to make the pirate. We're also going to need, for the surprise, a little bit of string, which can be sewing string, it can be yarn, it can be fisherman's string, whatever you have lying around the house, or you can also ask your parents so they can find you something. We're also going to need a little bit of Scotch tape, as well as some colored pencils and a regular pencil as well. So you're going to need also some markers or colored pencils. And let's go. So you're going to take your sheet of paper and face it vertically. So that means it's lengthwise. We're then going to take our string and we're going to unroll it a little bit later, which is going to help us with our pirate. But first of all, we're going to take our pencil here and we're going to start drawing the shape of our pirate. So it's going to start off with the top. And we all know that pirates wear these kind of scary little hats. They're kind of like these, sombreros, but they're kind of like these big round hats. So I'm just starting with a straight line here and then up and down, making like a little camel's hump, and then down and over and coloring it in a little bit. So that's our pirate's hat. That's the first step. Now what we're going to do is we're going to draw his face. So we're basically going to take our pencil here, and his face is going to be like a swoop, just like this. We're making room for his beard, which is going to be underneath his face. So take your pencil, take it down, and swoop it up, kind of like a tooth, and swoop it back up again. Perfect. So that's our pirate's face. Next to it, we're going to take our pencil and draw down, up, and over, and kind of a little bit raggedy like a beard. And there we go. There's our pirate's beard. Perfect. So now we're going to make his t-shirt. So from the very end of his beard here, we're going to go outwards for his sleeve, upwards for his armpit, his t-shirt, his other sleeve jutting out right of his beard, upwards, and connect it down to the rest of his t-shirt. Great, so before we start the rest of his body, we're going to draw his hands and his feet separately because we're going to attach it with that string right there that I just showed you. So we're going to make his jeans straight down and a little bit raggedy here. And it's basically not going to stop at the very end. We need to leave some room at the bottom. A little zigzag straight up. And we're basically going to draw his hands and feet outside of the paper, which we're later going to cut out and attach with the string. So 2 hands and 2 feet. So let's move our page up here, and we're going to make our 2 feet up here so we have the room to cut them in. So a rectangle, little toes, inwards, and connect. Same thing for the second foot. Little square, rectangle, make the toes, and connect. Perfect. So now I'm going to go to my other side of the paper where there's a little bit more room. I'm going to make a hand with 5 fingers, just like that, and connect it. And then I'm going to make a hand which is holding a hook. So I'm just doing the little fingers just like that. And here it's going to hold our pirate's hook. So it's holding the handle. It's got the little kind of support for the hook, and boom, the dagger. Perfect. So now we've done all of the drawing for our various kind of pirate pieces. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take our scissors and we're going to cut out all the different components. So we can start with his body. Let's snip up. Nice and easy around. I can't wait to show you guys what it's going to look like with the string. It's going to look really, really cool. So straight up here on the sleeve, over and around the face, around his little hat, where I'm sure he's hiding all of his treasures underneath his hat. Let's cut the feet away, and also our hook and hands. Put those aside because we're going to work with them a little bit later. And now let's just clean up the scraps here. Perfect. Great. So what we're also going to do is make the pirate kind of an ornament, so you're going to be able to keep him for a long time. You can hang him on your door, you could hang him on your windowsill or on your Christmas tree or pretty much anywhere. Cutting out nice and smooth right there. And trim. Perfect. Nothing too round here to trim, so the scissors are not too hard. And around the sleeves. Put the scraps aside. Perfect. So let's just trim down here. Cut off that extra little paper. And there we go. So I think our pirate is going to wear what we would call nautical colors, since he's, pretty much living on a boat. And he lives, all day in the sunshine and in the sea. We can do like blues and reds and whites and all those kind of, boating colors that people so often affiliate with the sea. We'll also give him an eye patch and all sorts of other piratey little accessories. So now I'm chopping out the zigzags of his jeans. You can see his jeans are kind of short because he basically needs his ankles to be free when he's, jumping around the boat and in the sand. He can't wear long pants. Let's trim that up. And now let's just work on the zigzag here. It's kind of rough little pants. So I just cut little zigzags just like that. And you can take your fingers and actually pull out each of the triangles, which is going to make a perfect zigzag. Great job, you guys. So now what we can do is we're going to start coloring. Or you know what? First, let's cut these out, and then we'll color. So I'm going to cut out my first hand. Nice and easy because he's so small. If you don't want to cut around the fingers, don't worry. You can just cut straight around, just like that, like a little slice of pizza, and that's perfect. I'm just going to trim a tiny bit more on mine, but you really don't have to do this. Don't worry. Perfect. So my hand here is done. And now I'm going to do my hook. Perfect. I don't know if you've seen the movie Hook. Oh, it's awesome. There's a fairyland and it's totally magical. Okay, so I'm cutting just around the handle here. Up and around the handle, up on the dagger. And be careful with your fingers. I know the cutting is really tight here. Perfect. Put that one aside. So now we can do his feet. So I made them kind of opposite directions here, but just trim that off. Separate the two. Take our first foot. And same thing as the hands. You don't have to do every single toe individually. Just as long as we get the general shape. Gorgeous. Let's take our other foot. Trim right on the bottom. And over. Up right there. And we're done. Almost. Perfect. So I'm going to move all my scraps aside. And now what we're going to do is we're going to color everything in. So I'm going to take my black marker here. I'm going to outline the entire perimeter of my pirate. So I'm going to start at the top here and go over his hat, just to make a nice outline of all of the various parts of the pirate. So down where his beard is. Follow the zigzags, because no beard is perfectly straight. I don't know if your dad or grandpa has a beard, but then outline the top of the hat here. Perfect. Then straight across the hat. And the face here. So here I'm making a little bit of a bandana, which is right under his hat, which is going to help the pirate kind of wipe his sweat away when it's got those really kind of sunny days on the boat. So now the face and the beard is ready. So I'm just going to outline my t-shirt here, just along the sleeves. This way it'll look nice and crisp down the legs and over his waist. Perfect. And then just over the little zigzaggies. You can use your fingers to hold down the pirate so you get good leverage. Over and down the leg. And follow the little zigzaggies. Okay, perfect. Almost done with the pants. Over the shirt. And the right sleeve. Okay, great. So our pirate outline is done. And now we're going to work on his little kind of hands and feet and accessories. So I'm going over his hook, which is probably the most important part of our pirate. Making it look nice and sharp. I mean, it's funny to think that most pirates have hooks, but they might have all gotten their hooks for different reasons. I mean, either their hand was chopped off by a shark, or maybe they chopped it off, when they were trying to cut something, who knows? So we can come up with a little story for our own pirate. How did our little pirate get his hook? Take the hand and outlining the fingers. Perfect. And his feet. I think most pirates go barefoot. They're always in the sand or running around their boat. So there we go. One little foot ready to go. I know these little feet and hands are super small, so try not to lose them. Just put them off to the side. Hold it down, over, and perfect. So now we're done with our outlining. So I'm going to put everything aside here. And now what we can do is color in the rest of our pirate. So here I'm going to do a few little details on his face. So 2 eyes in the eyebrows. And his bandana, which is going to get covered off by his eye patch. So it's kind of like a circle, a semicircle that I'm going to color in with a line. You see that? It's just coming down, which is the elastic. Perfect. A little loop for his nose and a line for his mouth. Perfect. So now to make the kind of detailing on the hat, most pirates have those kind of double-crossed bones, which look like kind of 2 bones making an X. So there's one bone, and there's another bone. So it's like 2 little hearts that are connected by a rectangle. So we're going to do the same thing right in the middle of his hat. Awesome. And then do another little bone. Heart connected by a rectangle. Just like that. Perfect. So now we're going to take our colored pencils. Unless you want to color him with marker, but I'm going to use some colored pencil here. And I'm going to make his beard this kind of light brown color. Just take your pencil and color that right in. You could make his beard, it could be white, it could be gray. It could be all sorts of colors, but my pirate is pretty young, so I'm going to have him have a nice brown beard. Perfect. So right within there, in the nooks and crannies. Looking good. Nice and brown. He's probably not very clean, this pirate. There could be lots of little surprises in his beard. So now I'm going to take this marker here and just draw the red of his bandana right under his hat. Perfect. And now I'm going to draw the rest of his hat. So color it in with a little bit of black marker here for the bones. Perfect. And on the other side, a little pirate logo. Awesome. I'm going to get also my black, or you could also use dark gray to color in his hat. Looking for the right one here. Perfect. And just lightly color in the hat on top. So you can make his hat whatever color you like, but you know, pirates usually have a black hat. Do a black hat or a gray hat or something kind of in that area. Perfect. So I'm just using my finger to help keep my pirate down. Awesome. Okay, so now it's time to make him a stylish little t-shirt. So since he's on the ocean blue, most sailors and pirates like to wear these like striped red and white t-shirts. So I'm going to grab my red pencil, and then I'm also going to take a ruler, make sure he's nice and sharp. And what we can do is draw some stripes evenly right through his t-shirt. So since his beard is pretty long, he's going to be covering up some of those stripes. So I'm just taking my pencil and drawing them right through, not drawing over his beard, but rather right under. Perfect. So that's my first stripe, which we're going to color in afterwards. My second stripe. Draw right across there. Perfect. You can make as many stripes as you want, if you want them to be thick or if you want them to be thin. I think he's going to look really nice with this little red striped t-shirt. Yeah. Some pirates aren't even wearing t-shirts. They're just wearing, you know, swim trunks. Depends how much gold they found. The more gold they find, the nicer clothes they have. Great. So now his t-shirt is done, so we can start coloring his stripes. You could also do blue stripes, maybe too. That would be a good kind of nautical theme. I'm just gonna get a new colored pencil here. This one's much sharper. Coloring right through. Making those stripes really pop. Perfect. Our pirate definitely looks a little nicer than Jack Sparrow. You know, they say that pirates still exist today in really kind of remote places of the earth. In the Pacific Islands, there's kind of all sorts of crazy remote little islands. Perfect. Our last little stripe up here. Okay, great coloring, guys. So now we can do his pants. And I imagine that my pirate's pants are like blue jeans, like really light blue. Oh, that one's a little bit too aqua. I'm going to take more of like this French blue here. And just lightly draw over to make the denim of his jeans. He could be wearing linen pants. He could be wearing any kind of colored pants you want. Right there, and I think that the jeans are probably going to be really washed out, like really light, because he's taken so much sun that they're probably completely bleached. Perfect. Okay, great. So now we have the other little accessories here, like his hands and feet and his hook, that we can start to color. Great. So I'm going to make his face and his hands the same color. Excuse me. So take some light peach here and color right over through that face. Perfect. You know, and since our pirate is kind of tan, he spends all day on a boat. All day he's taking sun in. So we're going to draw a little bit of brown right on top of his face to make him look nice and bronzed. Same thing for his hands and feet. I'm just doing a combination of the pink and of the light brown. Perfect. A little bit of the pink and a little bit of the brown. And again, your pirate can be any color. You can make him orange, you can make him yellow, you can make him dark brown, you can make him light brown, you can make him purple, you can make him blue. My pirate is just nice and tan. Great. So now I'm just going to draw the kind of gold part of the magic hook here. And then a little bit of silver. Right through. Let's do this with magic marker. I think magic marker and colored pencil look pretty nice together. Okay, great. So now we have all of the components of our pirate that are ready to go. So we're going to take our string and we're going to need 4 pieces of string of about equal size. So I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4 loops of string. I'm just going to measure it loosely. It should be about 1.5 inches of length. So I'm just going to take the initial length here. So it's about the width of my pirate. I know our pirates are going to be slightly different in size, but 1.5 inches. So I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4 snips and 5 just in case. And then I'm going to take it and my scissors and snip on the last little part. And you can use your hands to help you pull the string down, but please be careful with your fingers, guys. Please be very, very, very careful. And now I'm just going to cut the loops here so I can have 4 individual strings. So cut all those loops. And now let's take a look at them. Okay, great. So here I have my 5 strings. And now I'm going to take my tape so I can tape all of my individual little parts of my pirate together. So the first part is going to be his hook up here. So this is going to be the thing that lets us basically attach him to your windowsill or, to any part that you'd like to. So we're going to flip him over, make the loop with the string here, press it against the top of his hat, and tape him down. Right there, nice and firm with your finger. Yay! So now we can actually use your pirate. Perfect. So now what we're going to do his arms. So we're going to take a little piece of tape, a little tiny piece, not much, just enough to tape down the string. And take our first arm here, which is going to be connected to the hook. So we'll take our string here, add the tape to our string, and tape it down right there where the sleeve is. So it needs to have a little bit of buffer right there. And add your tape, press it down with your fingers. Nice and hard. You can even add a second little piece. So in this little piece right here, I'm going to just split it in half. I have a little bit too much. I'm going to put it on the other end of my string and then on the back side of my hook. So basically the hook needs to... Oh, it's a little bit too thick actually, isn't it? So I'm going to trim my arm a little bit. It's a little too long. That's okay. It's trial and error, guys. So now I'm going to take my hook, put the tape back on, and tape my hook right to the string. Press it down with my fingers. Now let's take a look at him. Very cool, you guys. Look at that. He's got his little arm poking out with his hook. Very, very cool. So I'm going to trim my second arm to be about of the same length of the first arm. And on this arm, he's going to have a little hand. So let's grab some tape here. I'm going to split off some of that tape because I took off a big piece. Take the string, push it down on the sleeve, and tape him down with that little piece of tape that we just got. Then we're going to take his hand and we're going to tape the hand to the piece of string and press it down with your finger. Awesome. That's really great, you guys. So remember that the part that you've colored should be facing outward. It should be facing the same direction as the rest of the colored parts of our pirate. So now we're going to do the legs. So we're just going to lift up the legs a little bit so they're not too long. Grab some tape. I'm going to split that piece in half. Tape down the string to the pirate. And on the other one as well. Just make sure they're of equal length on either side. And tape it down. Awesome. So now we're going to use our little feet and tape them onto the strings. So they have to face the right direction as well. So the strings should be right on top of the ankles. Just like that. Grab a tiny little piece of tape, which you can split in half. And tape it right down the string to the ankle and the string to the ankle. Make sure that the colored pencil part is not facing you. Whoop! And there we go, you guys. Our pirate is complete. So kiddos, here's our pirate. I hope you had a great time making him. I'd love to see how you're going to use your pirate, so send a picture to me at tutokid.com. Hope to see you soon.